live.
Hello, activists, and welcome to another Friday night edition of The Accidental Activists. It's good to see you guys. I see you guys hanging out in a few of the chats. Tonight, I have Oz Lefebvre behind the curtain, always the wise and powerful. And I have a wonderful guest. He's been my friend on Facebook for many years, since the beginning of the big Bernie movement. James O'Neill. He has a Twitch channel, and I'm gonna let him tell you about his channel.
So I got into politics, starting with the gay marriage movement, actually, 2005, 2006.
Nice.
And then a little bit there, but when the Proposition 8 trial came, I just lost my mind. You figure if there's one state that should be able to keep gay marriage, it should be California.
Right.
So that I got into politics quite a bit more after that. I studied everything from evolutionary psychology, biology, Christian theology, and philosophy, and I went and all that sort of stuff, just to figure out what the issues are and what is their thinking. Right. And then I started blogging. I've been blogging about politics and religion and sexuality a little bit for about a decade on my blog, freezenon.com. And last year I started my policy site. I have a policy site, interstellarnewdeal.global, where if I was to run for office, that's what all my policies
you thinking
would
about
be.
running for office?
Yeah, I ran for school board this year. I didn't get elected, but I ran. And then, I started my Twitch stream, which is /freezenon again. That I started that last year. I became an affiliate, I started that this year. What year are we in? We're last year, late last year. And then I became an affiliate sometime last year as well. So
great. So you're actually an affiliate on Twitch. Congratulations. That's awesome. I know how you got to work up to get to that. And I just got to say, you've always left very smart, insightful comments on my Facebook. I'm assuming you started out a Bernie supporter in 2016. And then did you switch to Jill Stein and vote green like the rest of us?
Yes, I did.
I figured as much. Yeah, I thought we were on the same page there.
Yep.
So you're located in Wisconsin, right?
Yep, South Central.
South Central. Wow. Yeah, I took the journey for Bernie, so we drove from Seattle to Philadelphia, and I really enjoyed our time going through Wisconsin, I gotta say. Except for, boy, you guys got some traffic. Wow, I was shocked at the traffic coming out of Chicago, Illinois, and into Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people come from Chicago up to my area. Well, I'm in Bear, but in my area, there's just a huge amount of people coming from there because we got Devil's Lake and the water parks and stuff like that. It's just shitloads of people.
Water parks, that's the American way, right?
Yeah.
So we got a great show lined up for you tonight. We're going to go over some clips, some recent things, and we're just going to shoot the shit and talk about what we see. So Oz, you want to roll us into our first segment? Our first segment is going to be a clip from The Rising. I believe this was Sagar's radar from 2 days ago. And Trump is telling workers in Wisconsin that Biden is just a Trojan horse for socialism. So, James, I would love to get your take on this after we watch this short clip.
All right, Sagar, what's on your radar?
Well, there's a whole lot of cringe going on at the Democratic convention, from Billy Porter's performance, John Kasich's fork at the road, having Bill Clinton give a rousing, no, not really, speech on the same day that pictures were revealed showing him getting a massage from Jeffrey Epstein victims only 2 years after leaving the Oval Office. But something is beginning to dawn on me. It makes me very sad to report this all. All signs point to the GOP convention being even more cringe, or at very least the same, and it's a perfect reflection of the state of the Trump campaign today. Got a small taste of it Monday on the campaign trail when President Trump and the Trump campaign highly publicized a speech that he delivered in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, in which he branded Joe Biden a, quote, Trojan horse for socialism. Let's take a listen to that speech one more time, and let's digest what exactly he said.
Is just a Trojan horse for socialism. He is. He's a Trojan horse. He has no clue, but the people around him are tough, and they're smart, but we disagree with them very, very strongly. They're mean, and they're angry, like her.
So let's think about that. Joe Biden is a Trojan horse for socialism is the message that they're going with in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, a state that voted Republican for the first time in nearly 30 years, explicitly because Trump didn't sound like a typical Republican that normally ran for office. The Trojan horse for socialism bit sounds a lot like something that Scott Walker or Paul Ryan would say, and you can ask both of them how it worked out whenever they tried to compete statewide for their own home state, Wisconsin's vote, either as governor or as vice presidential nominee.
Okay, so I didn't let that one just ramble on. I figure we don't need Sagar's input on it. I would love to hear your input on it, being, somebody who lives in Wisconsin. So just so we understand, so I understand, Wisconsin pretty much went for Bernie, right? It was a very heavy burner state.
I don't think
in 2016. Really?
I think it went to Trump, and I think people.
Well, no, in the primary. I mean, in the primary. So then they were forced to vote for, the worst of evils.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
so he had strong support in the primary in 2016.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So then how did that translate to the general? Do you think they pivoted and they voted for Trump because of the failure of these disastrous trade deals like NAFTA or do you think they supported the lesser evil and Trump just barely got through?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think what the statistics showed is that most did vote for Hillary because you vote Democrat, but also some voted for Trump because fuck Hillary, and the rest voted for the Green Party as well. There was a split, and I think there was 3% difference or 0.5% difference between Hillary and Trump winning or some small amount like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't think that is a secure enough lead for Trump to be throwing populism to the side and embracing the Republicans' rhetoric of socialism is coming to take everything,
Well, it's tried and true. I mean, I wrote a post about this on my blog, trying to explain what socialism is and how we talk about it here in the United States. And like my mother and I were yelling at each other because she's conservative. How can you vote for Bernie? He's a socialist. He's a communist. I'm like, fucking Jesus Christ. The people don't understand, and especially on the right. They don't understand that. And, we've got the Red Scare for over 100 years. We have not had a generation which has not been afflicted with the Red Scare. So we've got 100 years of programming of socialism equals bad. And then the 50-year attack on our education system. People can't think critically about this or even understand that they need to investigate, what this means. And I wrote that blog post just so I could figure it out. Right. And people just don't figure it out. So it will work for obviously most everyone on the right, but also people on the left too who don't really know.
The Red Scare,
anything. Yeah, exactly. So it's mixed.
Yeah, socialism and communism are different, says JV, the bumblebee. You're right. I saw a comment the other day that Trump is or that Hitler was a socialist. And it's like, if you believe that Hitler was a socialist, you don't truly understand what was going on. And it was more about nationalism. And that is comparable to what Trump's rhetoric is.
Yeah, technical socialism, Hitler most definitely wasn't socialist. But people don't know enough to even ask that question, like the Democratic People's or Socialist Republic or whatever, right? I mean, it's in there, even though that's not what it actually is.
Just like Citizens United doesn't mean that citizens are united.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. It's that marketing, make it feel good when you stick to the knife in.
Right. I see the chat's getting along well. Welcome. I see you, human. Thanks for joining us. Who else is in
everyone
here? Snork. Welcome, Snork. So, since you were in Wisconsin, I just I don't know, that state fascinated me in 2016, how it broke in the end, because I really thought that it wouldn't break for Trump. So I don't know. Do you think it'll happen again?
It's hard to say. But when you look at, Trump and Biden, conservatives are starting to not like Trump. I mean, like in the Democratic Party, we had fucking Kasich there. And we've got
fuck?
I know, God. I mean, that is just a testament to how far right-leaning the Democratic Party is. It's not left leaning. I mean, we've got Republicans there. They're Republican, moderate Republicans in all but name. But we still have Republicans who are getting pissed at Trump, and even not just the politicians, but also the electorate as well. So some of them are defecting and are going to vote for whoever the Democrat is. But also, obviously, us, especially Burners, we're fucking pissed at getting fucked over out of Bernie twice. Yeah. Again, so there's a lot of people who are really pissed at that. I mean, in 2016, Burners voted for Trump because they were that pissed. And
I think 8%, I think is what I heard. 8% of us voted for Trump.
Like that. Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't, but I do understand those who did. So say Trump loses this election or even wins this election in 4 years. What does the Republican Party look like after Trump?
I hope it's in fucking shambles.
Right? I know they have nothing. They had nothing till they got Trump.
Yeah, well, they'll be just fine because they're
Trump saved them.
Well, damned them and saved them at the same time. But yeah, definitely. They brought a lot of people in there, made racism to be okay.
I know. The outward racism, they don't even bother to put hoods on anymore. At least back in the day, they'd put a hood on before they had a rally. Yeah, and it's celebrated even. It just people are outwardly aggressive about being racist and attacking people. He's made it okay. I mean, there's a statistic of some sort that says in every place that Trump actually campaigned, racism and racist attacks and stuff went up. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that and COVID infections lately. So, I think that we've killed this segment enough. Thank you for your insight on Wisconsin voters. Mm-hmm. It'll be interesting to see what happens in some of these states, especially in the Rust Belt, that it suffered so badly under the neo-lib policies for the last 40 years and, how they killed trade. But, even they're screaming we need to bring trade back now. Well, you want to roll us into segment 2, Oz, please? This is an amazing segment. I could have played this whole thing for you guys. Cornell West lays some beautiful truths about Joe Biden on Democracy Now! This morning.
Zoom of the Commodores and genius Lionel Richie of Ella Baker, who was invoked by Brother Biden in the first sentence of his speech. The Ella Baker who was a revolutionary, the Ella Baker who was working on the Mass Party Organizing Committee with Arthur Kanoy and the great William Kunstler, for actually working for a third party because she thought that the two-party system was so decrepit. And then also the Curtis Mayfield that they've been playing over and over again to move on up. But you got to move on up from poverty. And in order to do it, you got to talk about poverty. If you're going to move on up from Wall Street greed and Wall Street crimes, you got to talk about Wall Street greed and Wall Street crimes. If you're going to move on up from the Pentagon militarism around the world, you got to talk about it. Those are the taboo issues that we don't get serious wrestling with. So when you really talk about the soul of America and the battle for the soul of America, much of that soul has been evacuated by the Pentagon greed and the Wall Street greed and the inability of the police and other institutions to treat black people and brown people and indigenous people as human beings. So I agree with Brother Ben in terms of being part of an anti-fascist coalition, that I think we're forced to vote for Biden, but we're not going to lie about Biden. We're not going to lie about Harris. We're going to tell the truth about their captivity and their refusal to hit Pentagon money spending and militarism around the world, to hit Wall Street greed, and to also speak substantively to issues of poverty. You can't have massive protests all around the country, the largest in the history of the country. You can't have Brother Barber and Sister Thea Harris out there talking about poverty, and then when you get to the convention, you get this spectacle that has nothing to do with wrestling with poverty. I think Brother Corey was the only one to even talk about it for the most part. None of the major figures did. Thank God that Bernie, thank God AOC got her little 90 minutes as opposed to the Republicans.
90 seconds.
Getting major, call it. And I'm sorry, 90 seconds, exactly 90 seconds. So that, I'm with Ben in terms of we got to vote for Biden, but never, ever lying about him and not coming to terms with the fact that at this moment, with the decline and fall of the American empire, it looks as if the system is unable to generate enough energy to seriously reform itself. It remains sanitized, superficial. We getting Lawrence Welk's bubbles rather than Prince's Revolution. I want to go to the Prince's Revolution concert. I want fundamental.
Yeah, he goes into a breakdown of the music. I love Cornel West. He is a hero of our far left movement.
Yep.
He says it as it is. And the man truly understands the plight of our country, of people of color, of the poor. He gets what's really happening. And he runs for president, man. I would get behind him 100%. So did you watch any of the convention, James?
I couldn't stomach it, honestly. I watched just little clips here and there, specifically that the Rising showed.
Yeah.
I found AOC's clip, which was good. I watched just the Obama's fucking clip. A little bit of that, how hypocritical that was. Just a little bit here and there.
So how much policy do you think you heard listening to that?
Oh, I know. Basically nothing. It was all empty platitudes and emotional manipulation. So your brains turn off so that you don't actually look for the policies and how their policies, what little they do have, is actually in conflict with everything that they're actually saying.
Absolutely. I can't agree. I agree 100%. It was identity politics, platitudes, and weepy heartstrings, and Joe's a good guy,
Oh, Jesus.
Do you think that Joe's cognitive ability, I mean, he seemed pretty together during the convention, but boy, he sure seemed to have struggled going up to that.
What I said, I posted this on Twitter and Facebook, I don't know, last week, is that within 6 months to 2 years, he will step down due to mental issues, then Harris will be president, and then we'll be like, oh, woman president, woman of color president, everything is just fine now. Which
pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because I want women to break that glass ceiling, but I don't want to do it that way.
Yeah, it has to be real, and this isn't real.
Right, it isn't real. You're right, it isn't real. This is all for show. It's the greatest show on earth, right?
For the worst.
Yeah. So Ben Zealous' response during all of this, I've never been a big Zealous fan, but I gotta say, he kind of came off neo-lib supportive. I don't know much about him, but yeah, he just seemed to be towing the line. I personally, I'm done voting for evil. So even with Dr. Cornel West telling us that we have to defeat fascism first, then we can go after the Dems and the DNC. I just cannot stomach it. I can't bring myself to do this. My whole entire adult life, I was 18 in 92. I voted for Clinton. I should have voted for Purrrr, but I didn't. And then, rolling into the Gore election in 2000, I was a staunch Gore supporter. I should have supported Ralph Nader. I didn't. I look back at all of these disastrous neolibs. I just feel like they're more dangerous. I feel like their policies have hurt more of us in the last 40 years than, well, I don't even know if that's true, because the conservatives are killing people, but so everybody is. What do you think? Yeah,
most definitely. I mean, in my post, I basically say that Republicans are the party of regression. They're there to destroy everything we've done. And the Democrats, they are the controlled opposition party. They're there to prevent progress from actually happening. But they will throw us a bone when they have to, just to keep the peasants happy. But they are also there. They're also the other 1% party. They're there to serve their corporate interests, the people who pay for the re-election campaign. So they are also, the trade agreements under Obama or Clinton and whatever. NAFTA was under Clinton. That was horrible for us. I mean, they're going to sell us down the river just as much as the Republicans will, but they do it with a smile and a heart.
Exactly. So we have a great comment. Jordan Allen, if Big Pharma didn't exist, Biden would not be able to pull this off. I have to agree 100%. That's who we know is, been supporting him and getting him through this, that, and the big credit card companies.
Yeah, and on my policies, I say the four deadly industries: the banking industry, pharmaceutical industry, the military-industrial complex, and the fossil fuel industry. Those are the
Right.
four horrible things we need to get under control.
It seems like in 2016, Bernie was a little hesitant to even attack the military-industrial complex, but he did at least talk about it. Do you think that there was a change in his messaging from 2016 to 2020 when it came to that?
I didn't really notice specifically. I don't really think that he really attacked it as much as I would like. Like in my policies, I attack it. I have a whole page. My page is labeled global terrorism project or something like that for military reform, because that's, the United States is the largest terrorist organization in the world, and if you don't attack that at that scale, then you're not really doing much for it.
Right.
Stop it.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. We are. Yeah. So, well, I'm gonna take a few seconds to look through the chats. Wow, you guys are going crazy. Wesley Wild says neolibs and neoclassic economists use a right-wing framework to describe currency creation and currency. The draw from Australian monetary theory to Freeman's garbage descriptions. Yeah, they dupe the masses. They make us believe that our economy is ran just like your everyday checkbook, and we don't have the money. We got to pay the bills, that type of thing. Your taxes got to cover this, but we know taxes don't spend or spur spending. That is created with the keystroke, right?
Yep, they have to do that, because if they don't support the line that, the deficit and the debt is a problem and that you have to offset things with taxes, and once the people realize that we don't need taxes to pay for shit, people will lose their fucking minds that we have been suffering for so long. It's a part of the making it easy to transfer wealth to the 1%.
Exactly.
That's why they have to maintain that.
Yeah, I got news for you guys. When you pay your taxes and you send that money to old Uncle Sam, he doesn't take it and pay the bills. He don't pay the light bills with it. He throws it in a garbage can and burns it. It's gone. It disappears. It no longer exists. Every dime that is created in the U.S. infrastructure is created with the keystroke, with the approval of Congress.
Preach, girlfriend, preach.
Exactly. So, yeah, we could tackle every single problem that we have in this country. There is no reason for people to be homeless or, to be on the streets. So let's see.
Exactly.
Guys, we got some more chats you're going to put up. I see you queuing them up. Social Democrat. Oh, I was waiting for it to come across the screen. My bad.
Yeah, that's all right. It's there. It's Cirrus 1976. See it there?
Yeah.
There is no excuse for anyone to be homeless. Greed is the cause. Everyone should have a house, not an apartment. Not apartment to be for free real. Yeah.
I completely agree. And actually, with my policies, that's something I struggle with, how to deal with that. But he's right, because we have the money. That's not an issue. But what do we do to make sure that everyone has a house when, like, local, municipal, and state governments are partially run off the real estate taxes, property tax, and stuff like that? How do you decouple that? Or even if we need to, and I need to talk to some people about that to get that figured out. But on a federal level, yeah, we could be passing a $20 trillion fucking bill to put out grants there to build apartment complexes and houses for everyone on a massive scale. It can be done, most definitely.
Right. Absolutely. MMT, you have to learn it. Everybody should know it. I was shocked when I learned these things. How was I duped for so long into believing that my tax dollars were paying our bills and buying aircraft carriers? And, because that is what we're programmed with. That is the American programming. And so many people need grabbed by the shoulders and shaken to wake up. And that's why I love to support independent media. We are the media. We know that mainstream media is owned by 6 different corporations. It's their narrative, and, the donors and the owners that are really controlling what Jesus, you're funny. they're controlling the narrative. So anytime I can try to give a platform to anybody who actually understands what the plight of our country is in and is talking about it, I welcome you to come on to the show. Like James and I don't really know each other. I just know him from Facebook, and I read some of the stuff he was saying. I'm like, hey, we need to have a talk, you know? So support independent media. That's the most important thing we can do. Let's see. What do we got going on here, Oz? Jilly Love. Welcome, Jilly Love. Jordan Allen. Hi. Thank you for joining us.
Truth.
That's truth.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. I'd give you all money if I had it. I hear you, honey. I'd give every one of us progressives money if I had it. I would. Did I already read that one? I'm trying to get used to our new system. So some of you who have been watching us for a long time now, we've got new toys. So now we are now putting the comments on the screen versus just reading them or switching them out. So bear with me if I'm a little glitchy tonight.
No, it's all right. It's all right. The red background doesn't, the white font, if they're real long, I switch them out. Congress spends based on our total resources, including labor and our productive capacity, not tax credits. Taxes drive the demand for the US dollar at the federal level.
Absolutely.
MMT speak.
Absolutely. Yep. Very, very, very smart. Yeah. So I think I had a, I implore you to go watch this Democracy Now! Interview. It is Ben Zealous and Cornel West, and they literally call Biden out to the mat, Cornel West, and they show clips of him talking about cutting Social Security and going after programs. They do a beautiful job. So please go watch that. But they also tackle Medicare for all in this conversation. It's probably a 40-minute interview. And Oz, I think I had a slide on my slide deck from one of our progressive faves.
Is that Ryan Knight?
The Ryan Knight, yep.
Yeah, he is good.
And it says, I actually found this on your page, James, but I had seen it before. 88% of Democrats support Medicare for all, 85% support a wealth tax, 85% support Green New Deal, and 75% support clearing student debt or student debt cancellation. So no, the activists calling on at Joe Biden to embrace these policies are not dividing the Democratic Party. His corporate donors are. Absolutely. And, I just keep thinking that eventually we're going to push through that wall. We're going to break through. We're going to have to when 99 is pushing.
At some point we're going to have to, otherwise, humanity is, we're basically screwed. I mean, like majority of Americans support the majority of Bernie Sanders' platform. Most people are actually progressive.
Even Republicans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And people want this, and it makes sense once you actually think about it. And especially once you get into modern monetary theory, that there's no fucking reason we can't have any of this. None whatsoever.
Exactly. Instead of awareness, Russia Gate, and I also see hated at China by the establishment. Yeah. The Democrats are really going to be pushing war with China is the only way that I can describe it. And I absolutely believe that if HRC had won, we would be deep into a war with China by now.
I don't know about China, but possibly somewhere we would be. Syria.
Oh, yeah, well, I don't know if we're ever leaving Syria. Ryan Knight apologized to Tulsi. Well done. I didn't know that he had an issue with Tulsi, but you guys will have to enlighten me about that. I got to clear myself, feed my kids. I like that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and wrap up this segment. Thank you for your insight on that. Yeah, we love Cornel West, man. I wish he would run for president. That would be a truly American hero.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get him, but Nina runs.
Nina, that's my girl.
Next. Yeah, she's pretty amazing.
Yeah,
hello somebody.
Hello somebody. Yeah. She's got an amazing podcast, and Joy, Savage Joy, at the Unruly Hour, which is going to be on after us tonight. She just did Hello Somebody podcast with Nina this week. Super excited to see that. Proud of the Uphill Media team. It always makes me so excited to see her engaging with these heroes of the progressive movement. Yeah. So we're gonna move on to climate now. Oh my, what a week. So we have a report from the Green Report. Some of you may know our own Whitney Alex. She guest spots on the Dames of Doom on the Natural Progressive, and she also comes in and sits with the Dive sometimes. And she put this report up yesterday.
Hi, Whitney Alex here, host of The Green Report. Dramatic news came out of Southern California this week, and it's the fact that Death Valley, known for extreme temperatures, just recorded a record 129.9 degrees Fahrenheit temperature, or 54.4 degrees Celsius, on August 16th, breaking the record for the hottest temperature recorded in August globally. According to experts, quote, the observation may be the hottest reliably recorded temperature in world history, breaking the 129.2 degrees Fahrenheit or 54 degrees Celsius readings at Death Valley in 2013 and Kuwait in 2016. If the temperature reading is verified, it would beat the previous hottest August day for the United States. Death Valley's all-time record high, according to the World Meteorological Organization, is 134 degrees Fahrenheit or 56.7 degrees Celsius, taking on July 10th, 1913 at Greenland Ranch. That reading still stands as the hottest ever recorded on the planet's surface, according to the WMO. And just for perspective, the hottest temperature recorded on Earth in human history was 134 degrees Fahrenheit in Libya during 1923. In contrast, that 129.9 degrees Fahrenheit reading marks a record hottest August temperature for Death Valley, California, known for its extreme temperatures. Let's take a look at a graphic NOAA made in light of the record-breaking temperature in Death Valley. The graphic reads, Death Valley, preliminary high temperature of 130 degrees Fahrenheit or 54.4 degrees Celsius. Death Valley, California recorded a high temperature of 130 degrees Fahrenheit at 3:54 p.m. on Sunday, August 16, 2020. If verified, this will be the hottest temperature officially verified since July of 1913, also at Death Valley. This breaks the previous high temperature record of 125 set on August 16, 1994. If 130 verifies, this would also break the monthly record for August of 127, which was set on August 12, 1933. Again, quote, this Death Valley reading would need to be checked and verified before any record could be confidently declared. Checks would be made of the instruments to make sure there had been no changes at the Death Valley site, which is close to a visitor center at Furnace Creek. The record temperature in Death Valley is followed by a record-breaking heat wave impacting Southern California, giving rise to wildfires, fire tornadoes, and persistent record-breaking temperatures for the month of August. Rolling blackouts are planned based on the enormous demand for air conditioning and electricity during the extreme temperatures. In Northern California, hundreds of fires blaze across the region, blanketing the Bay Area with smoke and poor air quality. Fires sparked across Napa, San Mateo, Sonoma, Solano counties, burning more than 141,000 acres in Northern California so far, as Governor Newsom declared a state of emergency over the threat of wildfires. The western United States is having a record-breaking summer, which is expected to continue for the rest of the season. Last note, many regions across California did not have adequate rainfall in the winter months, leaving these areas affected now very vulnerable to sparking destructive wildfires.
Wow.
Crazy.
What an amazing report.
Thank you for watching
from the Green
this video.
Report.
Please subscribe to the Green Report for more videos on the environment and the issue of climate change.
Yeah, please go over and follow the Green Report if you haven't on YouTube. She's kind of one of our resident millennials. And, I always love to lift their voices because I think it's so important. This is their world that's being destroyed and that's done. So I love to hear from them. Wow, that is shocking. Hey, Oz, is there any way we could check our sister stream in La Honda and see how that fire's going over there? I haven't checked it since this morning, so I don't know. So one of the Uphill founders has a live stream going on one of the California fires, and it's been really bad over the last few days, smoke-wise and, heat-wise. But they haven't evacuated, so I think they have evacuated that area, but they chose not to go. But I don't think that they're in any immediate danger. So, the reason I bring this up and I'm using this as our segment 3 is because, oh, look at it, cleared up.
Yeah, it's a little clear, but you can see the smoke and see the smoke back. Oh, the hummingbirds
Oh,
are
yeah.
going for it.
The Hummers are back. Yeah,
The
yeah.
Hummers are back. Yeah, they need donations over there because they go through 5,000 gallons of hummingbird food every day. So look, isn't that gorgeous? That's just such a great. Can we just leave that on?
It's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty. Go ahead and leave it on for a few minutes while we talk about this segment.
No,
Till we
no.
do the slide of the hurricanes that are coming. But
Yeah.
yeah, the reason I bring this up is, we had two shots. We had 2016 and we had 2020 to try to implement change and elect politicians that understood the dire crisis that is climate change. How do you think we did, James?
Bernie Sanders, he's really embraced it, and I was actually surprised when he embraced the Green New Deal. I was very happy because that's a bold move, and that's exactly what we needed. It's like AOC said, we need to have a response that's appropriate to the crisis that we face, and obviously Democrats don't give a fuck about that. Republicans don't either, because neither of them get paid to save humanity. There's no money to be made, no profit in actually doing good. So yeah, we're doomed. We're doomed.
Oh, right. We're doomed. Poor California right now. They got power outages. They got rolling blackouts. People are fleeing for their lives. Yet again, we're seeing videos of people driving through firestorms with fire tornadoes, and now, of course, the infamous. What do they call that? I just went totally. Where the redwood forest, where they're all around us up here. Anyways, it burned to the ground. So it's a historical building.
Oh, where is that?
The visitor center.
Where is that?
That's California.
That's in California. I think I've been there. Not Yosemite, is?
No, it's the other one. The one. I know. I can't remember it tonight. I'm tired. It's been a long day.
Yeah, it has.
It burned to the ground. Yeah, and then to top that off, we have not one but two tropical storms sitting off of the coast of Cuba, getting ready to come into the Gulf of Mexico. They're tropical storms now, but we all know when those hurricanes get into the Gulf, they pick up steam and heat, and that's when they become, hurricanes. And we have two looking to hit the United States Tuesday night at 8:00. One looks like it's going to hit maybe Galveston, Texas, and parts of Louisiana, and the other one is projected to hit parts of Florida, Panhandle, and maybe New Orleans. So this is historic. We've never seen twin hurricanes at the same time. We've never even talked about it. Is this real, James? Is this a nightmare? I mean, what the hell?
Definitely nightmare. That's pretty much it, and it's only going to get worse. I mean, with when the Amazon was on fire, I almost decided to get out of politics because we're completely fucked there. I thought that was the lungs of our planet, but it turns out to be the oceans for the most part. But the oceans are fucked because the increase of acidity, increase of temperature. So yeah, this is only going to get worse and worse and worse unless we do radical change. I mean, honestly, we have to commit a war on climate change, and a lot of the money we put into murdering people globally should be put forth to work towards climate change. Yes. Either that or we're done.
Yes. I mean, if we don't make climate change our number one focus, we're not going to survive it. It doesn't matter. The earth is just going to wipe us off and burn us out. And it's so disheartening. I have 3 grandchildren. That's why I got into this fight. I look at them and I'm just completely sick to my stomach to know that there's no clean air, there is no clean food, there is no clean water. We're leaving them an economy that they can't survive in, student debt, all the things we fight for it's what I got into this. What inspired you to get into this fight?
Yeah, originally it was gay marriage, and that's what got me in, and then it just expanded to all this other things.
Right.
Poverty was a big thing, and all just civil rights in general, like the Universal Declaration of Human Rights was kind of one of the things that was the closest thing that I had to a religious document. So that kind of really drove me forward to other things.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you're with us. And,
Thank you.
every time we have a conversation, if we even reach one person, then we're
Yeah.
waking that person up, then we're doing our job. So we're not going to run a long show tonight because we've had Oz locked in the engineer room all day, and he still has another show to produce for Joy and the People's Movement tonight. So I want to give him a chance to get a bathroom break. So I'm going to go ahead and tell people how to reach you, James O'Neill on Facebook, and tell people how to find your blogs and your Twitch page.
Yeah, so I'm Free Xenon everywhere. My blog is freexenon.com. My policy site is interstellarnewdeal.global. That is huge. And then my Twitch is twitch.tv/Free Xenon.
Free Xenon.
Yep.
Nice. I actually enjoyed doing a little research on you and watching your stuff and reading your blogs. I will definitely be back. I did follow. So I actually even set up a Twitch page just to come in and read your stuff.
Oh, thank you.
So you helped cattle me over to Twitch, and I'd like to thank you for that. Chat, you guys look amazing tonight. I see you all over. Let's see what we got going on. Thank you, Jilly Love. Insight Awareness, Human, Jesus, Keith Hayes.
Yeah,
you know what?
You guys talking about the Venus Project and the Zeitgeist movement. Yeah, I'm all about that. My policies are in three parts, and the third part of that is honestly the Venus Project. On Tuesdays on my Twitch stream, I'm reading the New Human Rights Movement.
I saw that.
Peter Joseph gave me the permission to go ahead and do that, if you're interested in that.
Nice. Yeah, I did see that you were reading that. I am very interested in that. I love audiobooks, especially if somebody I know is reading them.
It is perhaps the most important book that everyone needs to read.
Yes, very, very, very true. So, okay, chat. You guys are really talking in there, and please stay and keep chatting. We're gonna roll out with Goodnight Moon tonight, and I want to thank my guest James O'Neill for joining me, and I will definitely have you back on. No, you're always welcome if you got something you're trying to plug. We are the media, and Oz LaFave. I love you. Thank you so much for all your hard work.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Did we not embed that one?
Yeah, no, I did. It just coughed it up. It's a fur ball. Let's try this.
There's a nail in the door and there's glass on the low. Ducks on the floor on the TV zone. And I always leave with my guns when you're gone. There's a blade by the bed and a phone in my hand. A dog on the floor and some cash on the nightstand. When I'm all alone, the dreaming starts, just can't stand. What should I do? I'm just a little baby. What if the lights go out and maybe, and then the wheel just starts to move outside the door? He followed me home, so good night moon. I want the sun if it's not here soon. I must be done. No, it won't be too soon till I say good night moon. There's a shark in the pool and a witch in the tree. A crazy old neighbor and he's been watching me. And there's food salad and strong coming down the hole. Something's under the bed, now it's out in the hedge. There's a big black crow sitting on my window ledge. And I hear something scratching through the wood. Oh, what should I do? I'm just a little baby. What if the lights go out and maybe I just hate to be all alone outside the door? He should I do?